Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Olympia Soiree, just continuing Kuroba's route, and we're gonna see if this works at all, because I just spent about like 10 or 15 minutes recording this part, and my computer just fucking blue screened and turned itself fucking off, and came back, and all the thing that I was recording is just gone. It just doesn't exist. It's like, it's not there. It's not even like, oh, it's cut off at a certain point. My Elgato capture card, I looked in the file, it's not in, like, when it processes, it saves it in a folder. But when I looked, even in that, it's not even saved there where I can, like, export it. It's like it didn't exist at all. So I have no idea what the fuck happened. So we'll see if this works. Otherwise, like, I don't fucking know. So, awesome. Swell. We were only a few minutes in, and then, like, I was rambling. So, whatever. But anyway, I don't see him anywhere. Kuroba stands out, especially with his lab coat. There was no way I'd miss him. Why do I want to see him so badly? 'Cause you love him. Shh. And then make sure to write a letter that'll make him swoon. Right, our letter to Fuso. I'm the only one feeling this way. To Kuroba, I'm just Olympia of the White. All he wants is for me to find a husband. Despite that thought, I kept looking around for a white coat. I kept my eyes open as I made my way to Masahana's apartment when... Lady Olympia, good day. Perfect timing. I was just looking for you. Oh, is there a problem? I have this from Yusuge's father. Oh my! Could you give it to her? Masahana stared at me. Did somebody tell you already that she doesn't want to see anyone? Yes, Yusuge did. Was that the reason you declined my offer for tea last time? She's much calmer than before, but when she arrived, she hardly spoke with anyone. I believe she was already rather shy to begin with, but her appetite has recently returned, and this is where I was kind of going off on the ramble, like, because she decided to choose life instead of just dying from Haku, took a medicine that turned her hair black, and then was basically tossed aside. So, it was just reiterating I can kind of understand, like, I know where they're trying to go, especially when we were talking to Kuroba about that lord in the yellow who didn't want to take the medicine that might give him black color traits because, like, oh, you know, and it was, like, hurting Kuroba's feelings. But it's like, but the thing is, again, it's not because, oh, I'm going, my golden hair will turn black and, oh, boo-hoo. Like, it's not that. It's, well, yeah, but then all of a sudden I'm used to this life, and if I take this medicine and my color traits change, you're gonna kick me the fuck out and throw me away. Literally in Yomi, where most of the people on the surface think everybody who's trash lives here. We know that that's not true. A majority of the people that live down here are nicer. There's a handful of douchebaggy people down here, but there's a lot more, and there's a handful of nice people on the surface, okay? Let's just be real. I feel like more people are better that live down here than on the surface, but there's, you know, exceptions, obviously. Not everyone here is great, and not everyone on the surface is an asshole. But, you know, but for the most part, people on the surface are like, people in Yomi are trash. Because it's where they put the criminals and the unsightly people and whatever. So, like, I can kind of understand somebody who grew up fucking rich AF in their pampered little fucking golden palace up there in the yellow, and then they take a medicine to save their life, their hair turns black, and then, like, poor Yusuge is just tossed away like trash. I can kind of understand why people wouldn't want to do that. It's not, like, I feel like the game's trying to make you be like, oh, well, it's rude because, you know, you just don't want to have black hair. That, I mean, yes, there is that, because I'm sure they'd be like, oh, it's all unsightly. Like, which is stupid. Okay, that's stupid, but it's not like, oh, Yusuge gets to live her normal life, and now she just has to accept that she has black hair and come to terms with the change in her appearance. It's, oh, your hair's black now? You're trash. Like, everything is taken away from her, you know? So, like, I understand where people wouldn't want that. Like, nobody, like I said, nobody wants, you don't want your life, you're not like, the life you're living right now, you're like, if everybody was like, here, I'm gonna make it better, you'd be like, awesome. Nobody'd be like, no, please. Please make me struggle more and take everything away from me. Nobody wants that. Whatever you have, whether it's a lot or a little, you don't want people ripping that away from you for whatever reason. Like, oh, we just decided. So, like, that lord in the yellow, you can understand, he's got everything. And then he's gonna go to having nothing just because his hair changed color? Like, that's fucking dumb. So, you can kind of understand. You know, there's obviously the surface level of, oh no, my glorious golden locks will be black and horrible. Okay, get over yourself. But, like, it's not like his life's gonna continue on and people might just be like, oh, whisper about his black hair. Oh, you know, we're like, okay, now you're being stupid and shallow. You're literally like your whole entire life is completely like, and that's just awful, you know? Like, but then again, like in the reverse, Riku, oh, you were born in Yomi to like people who were unsightly and you were perfect blue, so we took you and lofted you into the heights. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I suppose it'd be inconsiderate to have you tell her she doesn't need to worry about me. Masuhana smiled. I was sent here to Yomi because of my hair color. I mean, that was already determined when I was born. In her case, she lived for 20 years as a yellow, and then was suddenly sent down here. I can only imagine how she feels. Yeah, this is the part where I went on that rant, and then that was basically it. You see, that sounds somewhat like me. I told you some would rather die than change. And that's, again, like his statement being like, some would rather die than change sounds awful. You're like, what the fuck? Just change. But that's not what it is. On the surface level, yes. And it would be completely stupid to, I mean, I could say the same thing. Like, you could lose a limb or you could be dead. I don't think I want to survive without a limb. I don't think I could handle it. Like, that's me personally. And like, I realize that it's stupid to be like, you know, but like, but these are people that it's like, I don't want to, but it's also not like, well, if I lost my arm, then all of a sudden I'm kicked out homeless on the street because I'm not good enough to live in my apartment because I'm missing an arm. You know what I mean? That's not what we do. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, crap. You lost your leg. Well, now you just have to get a cool peg leg, I guess. And like, things are different. You can't be, I guess, if you were an Olympic runner, it's going to be difficult. And you might have to change your life, but you're not like, oh, you lost a limb, you're trash now, thanks, bye. Everyone kicks you out, you're homeless, we take all your shit away from you. Like, but that's basically what's happening here. So it's like, you're trying to make me feel bad for this dude, Kuroba, and be like, wow, that dick in the yellow didn't want to change. Psh, what an asshole. And it's like, I mean, I kind of understand why. Because you people suck. Like, surface people suck. You know? He's not as, the people in the yellow or not wanting to take that medicine is not, I don't think it's going for what they wanted to go for. They wanted the impact to be like, oh, that's so awful, these people suck. And then you're like, yeah, but I mean, and on the surface level, yes, but it's not like, if they were like, oh, nothing changes in their life, his hair turned black and now he's just whatever, and he still goes about his wonderful life, then you'd be like, dude, just what the fuck, get over it, right? But that's not what's happening, so I don't know. I don't think it has the impact they wanted it to. You know, they wanted to have this impact where you're like, oh, racist pricks! And it's like, I mean, though, like, nobody would want everything in their life taken away just because your hair changed color. Like, that's... But then I guess we're supposed to look at it and go, wait, you're going to take away everything that man has had his entire life just because his hair isn't yellow anymore? Like, the fuck? So it's the problem with the world, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's the problem with the world, not the individual people. I mean, they're problematic on their own, but like, you know, in general. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, she didn't choose death. I hope she feels more comfortable living here soon. I'd love for us to have some tea one day. I'll let her know you said that. And let me hurry and give her this letter. Thank you. I looked at my own hair as Masuhana left. My hair turned black, which it will when you bone Kuroba, so that'll be fun. Oh, here we go. When you and your soulmate find each other and fall in love, you will... I suddenly screamed at the thought of it. Lady Olympia, is there a problem? Has someone tried to harm you? Where did they go? Oh, no, it's nothing. I'm so sorry about that. Please excuse me. I could feel my face burning as I raced toward Kunado. Of all the times to remember that, I really need to have better control of myself. Because then she was like, my hair's going to turn back black if I have sex with... Oh! And then she's thinking of having sex with Kuroba. Now we're all thinking about it. Hi. We'll get to it sooner or later. Back on the surface, I went back to the plaza to fulfill my promise from yesterday. Bird, stop! You cannot knock my headset. I couldn't find Kuroba. I guess he's already back at the Kotowari. Oh, he's already here.
Good day, Lady Olympia.
Good day. I have a letter for you. Oh, and let me introduce my pet mouse. His name is Daifuku. I took Daifuku out of my bag and held him on my palm.
Pleasure to meet you. A white mouse?
Fuso's eyes widened, then went soft as if reminiscing about the past. Why does Fuso sound like an old lady? I can't get the old man voice right now. I don't know.
May I pet him?
He slowly moved his hand near Daifuku, and Daifuku hopped on.
Ah, very friendly. And so very plump. I see he's being well fed.
He rubbed Daifuku gently with his finger. Have you ever had a pet mouse before?
No, not exactly. Although, a long time ago, a white mouse brought me good fortune. Oh, could he be? I see. How interesting to find him with you.
He got lost and wandered into the manor one day, so I decided to keep him as a pet.
Little white mouse, let me give you a treat. Do you like Carinto?
Carinto? I think so.
Why, thank you! I love Carinto!
Daifuku jumped onto the sweet treat and nibbled on it happily. I guess he's like that because of me.
Ah, forgive me. I let my cute little guest go first. Would you like some? They're my favorite.
Thank you. Oh, but before that, this is for you. I gave him my letter and took a piece of Carinto in exchange. I wasn't sure what to write about, so I wrote a little about Daifuku in there.
I cannot wait to read it.
If you have the time, please write back to me. Any time is fine.
To think old bones like me can exchange letters with you. I hope your future husband will not become jealous.
I haven't exactly found anyone yet.
Your face tells me otherwise. Perhaps, are you troubled over something?
I gave an awkward smile and took a bite of the Carinto when... Lord Fuso. I was almost about to choke. Why was he always appearing at the strangest times? Best times.
Oh?
I envy the fair Olympia's companion.
Why, she even gave me a letter today.
And then Kuroba's like, oh! I can't even whistle it. Okay. A love letter, no doubt.
I could have joked about that if I were as young as you.
I took Daifuku into my lap and continued to chew on the Carinto in panicked silence. I tried to avoid eye contact with Kuroba. Fuso's gonna be like, oh, you like him, huh? He's a doctor, that's sexy.
Yesterday I mentioned I had no one at all to exchange letters with, you see.
Is that so? I want to disappear.
Hime, you don't look well. Lady Olympia, is there a problem? Is the Carinto not to your taste?
Not at all. It's very good. Fuso looked at me, then at Kuroba. He's like, back and forth. You just see him moving his eyes like one of those cat clocks. Doo, 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 doo. And he's like,
I see. Oh, how could I forget? You'll have to excuse me for now.
huh?
I must hurry and write my reply to this letter. Why don't you two kids enjoy yourself here?
Grandpa's such a wingman. I love it. Everybody's such a fucking wingman in this game. Yourselves here. Sorry, I read that wrong. Fuso petted Daifuku again, then went off with a smile on his face. He was like, oh, you like someone? And we're like, no. Oh my god. And he's like,
I've got to get going.
Lady Amaterasu, have I angered you somehow? He didn't have to leave me here with him.
Long time no see, Lord Kuroba.
Oh, looks like Juliet's brother's doing well. Your name was Daifuku, was it?
Indeed, a fine name, yes?
You're cute and plump, but don't eat too much because being overweight is bad for you. You know what, Kuroba? I just don't call me out like this, okay?
I'll keep that in mind.
Seems like you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't wouldn't mind if he just kept talking to Daifuku. Of course, their conversation didn't last very long. Kuroba suddenly turned toward me with a playful look. He's like, so, Lord Fuso was the man who picked up your handkerchief? I nodded quietly. You're right. He is kind and charming. I nodded quietly again. He looked really happy about your letter. Did you know he was the previous previous leader of the fuchsia? Really? Then why is he alone? He suffered from Haku when he was young. Although he survived, he didn't have an heir of his own. With no one to adopt, he resigned from his post and is now living alone. I met him back when I worked at the hospital. Knowing him, I'm sure getting a love letter from you just added years to his life. I hope that's the case. We wouldn't need doctors if that happened. Lady Olympia's love letters would become the ambrosia of the gods. I thought for a bit before asking him a question. I remember you brought up an interesting question back when I first got to know you. You asked which was the greater honor, being used for the gate or making the sun shine. I wasn't able to answer you back then, and I still don't know what the right answer is. But he told me that there was only one thing left for him on this island, to offer his soul to the heavens. He said he hoped that time would come soon. He really said that? It doesn't matter whether a person offers their soul to the shrine gate or to the sun. I don't have the right to say which is of the greater honor. But what I do know is that I don't want people to hope for their deaths to come quickly. I want people to live. Which is why if my letter can help him find some joy in living, that would be great. Then again, I did want to see how well I could write a letter, too. Sorry. Huh? Kuroba looked away as if he had done something wrong, then gave a sigh. I was being unnecessarily harsh back then. I wanted to rattle the fair Olympia. Huh, I thought that might be the case. Maybe he didn't think well of me back then. Maybe he thought I was really a doll under Doma's control. Then, what about now? What's his opinion of me? You'd go to and from the stage, not speaking, not looking at anyone. I figured you wouldn't know about anything happening on the island. I thought you were some porcelain doll who didn't know about the lower classes. You're right about me being a doll. I didn't know anything before. I'm sorry if I made you feel bad back then. Looks like it happened yet again. Yeah, but I did the same yesterday, too. It's like Kuroba's just like, haha, I'm joking with you, and then it's like, I made you feel bad. Should I feel bad about that? And then, like, just right now, I just made you feel bad, and I feel bad about it. Did I do it? God damn it! He just, like, keeps putting his foot in his mouth. It's like, I'm trying to joke with you, but then I make you feel bad about yourself, but I'm trying to joke with you because I don't know how to flirt. Fuck, am I doing this right? No, sweetie, you're not, but it's cute, and I love it. No need to apologize. Really, I don't mind. I actually appreciate your being honest with me. After all, it gave me the opportunity to think, and it led me to writing that letter, too. Oh, and thank you for the tea last time. I shouldn't have been like that just because my deliveries didn't go well a couple times. I was probably just thinking too much about all the new things I learned. I'm embarrassed that I went to you with my problems when you have other things to do. I'll try to be better next time. This is where you tell us no, you can come to me with your problems anytime. I love you. You really are a pure white goddess, aren't you? Really? Sarcasm again? Be careful not to drop your handkerchief anymore. He suddenly ended our conversation. It's so funny because then shit gets real and he's like, okay, bye! We're like, it's okay, I shouldn't come to you all the time with my problems. You've got so much more important things to do. And he wants to be like, no, you can tell me anything. Anytime you want. I'm here for you. But then instead he's like, okay, bye! Before I knew it, he had turned his back to me and was walking away. And that doesn't help you. Like, you know it's just because he's being awkward. Like, okay, bye! And we're just like, oh, I guess he hates us. Okay. I mean, fuck. This is why some of us are doomed to die alone. Because we are like this. Like, oh, I guess he hates me because he doesn't know how to deal with shit, and I don't know how to deal with shit. And like, oh my god. Oh god. That's why inept people like me need people that are actually not inept, you know? Oh, God. Oh, this fucker! My. Our dear Olympia with a man. Kuroba of the Black, a man of talent who traded an offer to become head of the hospital for a high-level role in the Kotowari. I see. So he was your man after all. No! Stop it already! He's just a friend. Don't write an article about this. Listen carefully. It's not your story to write. Before you print anything, inform me first. Is that how little you like Nagusa? That's not what I'm implying. Sure, Nagusa may be a good person, but he's just too good for me. For the white goddess of Tengu Island, might I remind you that you can choose anyone from any color class? Oh, that makes Kuroba look so much better now, doesn't it? I mean, hello. Yes, I'm well aware of that. That's why I chose Yosuga in another life. Alternate. Shut up! It's part of my man harem. Get out of here, Kanon. In any case, I'll make it clear to Nagusa the next time I see him. I see. How unfortunate. Oh, and while you're here, how about writing back to Kaina? He's waiting for your reply. Like, if you have time to write fucking articles that are about a bunch of fucking lies, you have time to write a letter to your fucking brother, don't ya? I'm busy. Yeah, I don't want to see my name in the paper anymore, asshole. My reply? It's surprising. I can easily write about other people, but when it comes to my beloved brother, I can't seem to write a thing. It's because you don't really love him, I don't think. You keep saying beloved brother, but I'm not really sure. Sometimes I want to believe that you care about Kaina, but then if you're the one that turned him in, it's like, why wouldn't you just let him be? Why wouldn't you just keep your mouth shut? You know, because it's not like you took any money. You know, it's not like, I did it for the money because I was broke. You just did it to be a dick. Why? Because your brother was getting it on with someone and you can't get it on with someone, so it was like a jealousy thing? Like, what is your you know what? I don't want to know what your deal is anymore because it's not going to change anything. You're an asshole and you deserve to be backhanded. Still, you need to write something. He is your twin brother, isn't he? Yes, we were born of the same mother, and yet he went to the yellow. And maybe that's also why you're mad. You're like, I'm the middle class orange, and he's the upper class yellow. He then pinched his orange hair. I wonder what it was that made it so. What was it that made me and my brother so different? If this is the will of Lord Hiriko, then he's quite cruel. And now, this is that moment where you're like, oh, I feel bad for Kanon right now, because he's thinking the will of Lord Hiriko to give me frickin' Haku that caused me to lose my manhood, and, like, now I'm just constantly thinking about the fact that, like, you're basically only as good as your breeding on this island, and your ability to breed. Oh, you can't have children? Failure as a woman. You don't have a penis? Failure as a man. Like, what the fuck? This island is so fucked up. This island is fucked up. Why are we here? Let's get on a boat and disappear. You know what? That's it. We're leaving. Get in the spaceship, bitches. We're out. I had no idea what kind of response he was expecting from me. I do want to know what the fuck is going on with this island. The weird letter in the time fit shit. He seemed sad and angry at the same time. Well, I'll write something later. It is a request from you, after all. I'll let you know when it's ready. I hope that'll be soon. Now then, please excuse me. A thought came to mind as I watched Kanon leave. The newspaper. Maybe I can have him just write an article about me being engaged to Kuroba. Even if it's not actually true. I stood alone and looked around the plaza. I thought for certain I'd find my husband here when I first saw this place. It's so funny because she's like, maybe you should have just let him write the letter about you falling in love with Kuroba or whatever. And then Kuroba would have been like, what? And you'd be like, he saw us talking. Kanon's kind of a dick. What are you going to do? Just see if Kuroba's like, I mean, it sounds like an awesome idea. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need a third party to be like, hi, you two should just like, you're in love with each other. Stop it. I mean, Fuso tried, but he did it. Like, I'm just going to leave you guys alone. And we're like, why? So we didn't get that hint. But now... We don't know how to take a hint, do we? I see. What do you see? Do you know when I'll meet my soulmate? I went back to Yomi to have my fortune told by Yosuga. I'm sure it won't hurt to have my fortune read again.
It seems as though you've already met your soulmate.
I mean, technically, yes, because we've met all of the boys, and they're all our soulmate, depending on which route you choose, right?
Would you believe me in any case?
Huh?
You must not be too reliant on predictions.
I know, but I was just anxious about my situation. I thought I could tell immediately the moment I saw him, but things have happened, and now I'm not sure. Only Nagusa seemed to want my hand in marriage. I bet if I accepted his offer, things would get moving pretty quickly. But the person I really want is...
Such terrible lore, is it not?
Yasuka dipped his hand into the basin and swirled the water around. I suppose that meant he was done.
Everything in this world is determined by the person's color traits. Mating itself is determined by the color traits of the people involved. In such a world, how could one ever meet the love of their life and the other half of their soul?
Like, I think I'll trust the lore a bit longer, but you have a point, Yosuga. Yeah. Like, this is definitely a her response, and I'll trust the lore a little longer. I mean, I guess it's childish to observe an old legend, but I can't seem to forget it.
Believing is important. You have the freedom to choose, after all. Oh, I heard about Nagusa of the Jade. If he remains persistent, simply brush him off. Is there no one else who's captured your interest? Could it be you've already fallen in love? Which is why you came to me, to see what the future holds for the two of you. Am I right?
I stood in surprise as he read my mind. Yusuke was looking at me with a smile. I didn't...
Ah, it's Kuroba.
Huh? He really was here, and he was heading to our table. I was like, wow, everybody knows. Yusuke's like, it's Kuroba. And you're like, how did you know? I mean, oh, hi. And he's like, oh. He looked quite serious. My excitement to see him suddenly changed to anxiety. He's like, it's Kuroba. What? Where? I'm glad you're here, Olympia. Do you mind taking me to your friend, Tsukiyomi? You're like, Daddy Tsukiyomi? Okay. Did you want Doma to come too? I'm just really sad there's no Doma CG ever anywhere in this game. Like, bitch, I'm gonna need that.
I see. So you wish to take some of the water here for your research?
I heard rumors that drinking this water will infect a person with Haku.
It is not a rumor. It is the truth. Would you care to have a sip and find out yourself?
Tsukiyomi! I'm very sorry, but I don't have the time to contract Haku at the moment.
The spring you see here has an awful legend behind it.
He's referring to...
Deep within the spring lies Izanami, goddess of the dark, and so its waters are naturally cursed.
And this is the first time I've heard of it.
Rumors in Yomi are of no interest to those on the surface.
But I grew up here in Yomi.
That is correct. Please excuse me.
I have no intention of denying your story. I'm sure you know all about the island, the Red District, for example. And the soil's rich with cinnabar. Cinnabar! A brick-red substance containing toxic mercury which emits poisonous fumes when exposed to heat. It was not properly utilized in the Red District until Jigen instructed the people how to extract and handle it safely. That just sounds like, toxic mercury that leaks out when it gets hot in the summer, doesn't it? So, like, why are people of the Red not fucking like mutants? What the fuck is... The cinnabar itself is mercury sulfide with low toxicity, but when heated it becomes a highly poisonous mercury vapor. This wasn't known long ago, which means those who built their homes on it were affected in more ways than one. More than one way. Sorry, that's what I said. But now that the Red have devised various ways to use it, they've gained immense wealth. So I assume the curse of the Red is that very story, told with a twist. Oh, that's right! I forgot about that! They said the Red got cursed lands or whatever. The Red had, like, the Blue got magical abilities. The Yellower can talk to Hiroko, and the Red got cursed. I forgot! I totally forgot about that. You're like, the fuck, man? Here, Blue, you can use the power of bots, so you're great and wonderful. You can talk to me. Ha ha ha, lovely yellow people. People of the red, you get cursed fucking shit. Have fun with that. You get mercury poisoning. Welcome to the land of the Mad Hatters. Anyway. So that's the legend behind the Red's curse. I mean, they have not brought that up since the very frickin' beginning of the game. I totally forgot. The water here looks like any ordinary water. But there could be some kind of bacteria or organism in Haku that affects the human body. I promise I won't misuse it. I promise I won't misuse this in any way.
You do know that you may incur the wrath of Goddess Izanami in doing so.
If it can lead to discovering a new cure, so be it. Besides, you can see I'm of the ill-omened black class. Getting cursed isn't going to change anything about my existence on the island. Kuroba's like, pretty much already fucked this on this place. Here he goes again.
I am sorry to have tested you, Kuroba of the Black. But are you aware that someone from the hospital studied the Shinamizu as well?
I'm aware. I read the research papers, and unfortunately, the research didn't lead to any useful results. But I didn't conduct the study myself, and there may have been an oversight.
I see. I'm happy to see your resolve and passion. Feel free to take as much as you desire.
Tsukiyomi, thank you! I appreciate it. As I watch Kuroba carefully scoop the water, Tsukiyomi moved toward the spring to peer into it. Pushes Kuroba in. I'm just... Tsukiyomi, don't!
Kuroba, let me ask. Do you know the reason Haku plagues this island?
Long, long ago, those of beautiful colors tried to rid the island of unsightly colors. The conflict continued for years, and soon Haku began to spread from the piles of corpses. The conflict came to an end once people feared it was a curse from Lord Hiroko. I've never heard that story before. Interesting. Of course, that's just an old story, and no different from the alleged lore behind the Cinnabar. And the way I see it, the corpses weren't treated properly and pathogens spread as a result, not because of a curse. I love how Kuroba's like, there is no such thing as curses and magic! It's all science! And we're like, how can I get... Turns him into Batsu. What is that then? And he's like, there's a reason! He's like, why am I the only smart person on this island? What's with all you people like burning people for being witches? Witch! Kuroba, you would have been burned as a witch at one point in time in history. You know things! Witch! If you ask me, Lord Hiroko was irresponsible too. If Lord Hiroko was supposed to be the most powerful existence on the island, he should have given the people a way to save themselves. I feel like, I wonder if Tsukiyomi is Lord Hiroko. Wait a minute. I mean, like, Tsukiyomi seems to know some shit, and like, nobody has actually talked to Hiroko, nobody knows anything about Hiroko, I'm just saying.
A response as expected of a human doctor.
I will develop a cure. I promise.
I look forward to that day.
Be careful with that water. I'll be fine. Why did you ask about it so suddenly? Remember what I said back there about how the previous study didn't yield any useful results? And that's according to hospital records. And now remember what you told me today? That you shouldn't have been so down on yourself just because things didn't go well? So I figured I might as well do things myself, not rely on some other guy's research. I felt my body getting hot again. You're like, she's like, Kuroba, it's so hot when you take my advice. I didn't even know it was advice, but I'm turned on. I wanted to tell him how encouraged I felt by the things he said and did. Plus, it wouldn't hurt to discover a cure and be owed a nice, big favor by the yellow. You're right, it is a good idea. Meaning you really saved me today. Well, I gotta get going. He turned his back to me again, but I was reluctant to just let him leave. To let him just leave, sorry. Just come here if you want tea. Oh, I'm worried you're gonna spill that, so do you mind if I walk with you to the laboratory? Huh? Oh, sure. He's like, you think I'm gonna spill this? There's a cap on it and it's like in fucking bubble wrap, but... Oh, is that a bell? Suddenly the sky went dark. It's just nighttime in Yomi now. Huh? The sky changes like this? Yeah, we turn off all the lights. She's like, oh my god, the sky dark. See the lights up there? We just turn them off. You may already know, but the island's powered by geothermal energy. Even in Yomi, the lights turn off at certain times. At a certain time, sorry. I didn't know that. I know it's not the same as above, but I was raised under this night sky, so it's not such a bad sight to me. I actually like it, too. It's so pretty with all these colors. Of course, I know Yomi has its share of hardships as well, but I wish people on the surface would actually see things like this so they can get to learn and appreciate Yomi. I see. So you've come around to the point of genuinely liking Yomi. Thanks. His gentle smile froze me on the spot. Seeing it made me both happy and sad. This place is still so interesting to me. I'll get the tea ready, so feel free to look around. Thank you. I never asked him for tea. As soon as we arrived, he went straight to boiling some water. Not the Shinamizu water. He's like, fuck, which one of these was the... I really shouldn't have forced my way here, but to Cordoba, I was just a little girl from the White. I wasn't sure what I could do to attract his attention. Maybe you should just try kissing him. That definitely would attract his attention, whether it be positive or negative. I mean, I don't think you should just kiss someone without asking permission first, but in this case, in this game, I'm pretty sure he'd be fine with it. I've read this book before. Huh? Really? Doma has lots of books, and my teacher always encouraged me to read whatever I could. Teacher? Wait, were you taught at the manor? Yes? It's a shame that girls aren't allowed to go to school on this island. But Doma had a teacher assigned to me when I was little. See? Here's this. Girls aren't allowed to learn, but Doma made sure I learned anyway. He hates me. What? Here's the thing. This is what makes me... That's why I have a love-hate relationship with the way this game treats Doma. I love it because it's funny, but it's also like, stop it. Because they want you to hate him, but like, I can't possibly, especially all these things. Like, Doma has our back. You're a precious maiden of the White. You could basically be the dumbest, most vapid piece of fucking shit in existence. Oh my god, I'm like the White. I'm like wonderful. I'm better than everyone. You could be a complete and utter twat waffle, and men would still throw themselves at you because like, oh, she's Olympia the White, and I'd get all this prestige from marrying her, and like, whatever. But Doma didn't raise no dummy. Okay, Daddy Doma was like, girl, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna fucking learn some shit. I want you to be smart. I want you to fucking think for yourself, and I'm not gonna have a hand in any of this. I'm gonna act like an asshole, and I'm gonna stand back here and be like, oh, what do you think? And then you're gonna be like, whatever, I'm gonna make my own decisions, and we're not gonna fight you on it, and you're gonna think that we hate you, but like, girl, we just gave you every opportunity to learn some shit, fucking make up your own mind, fucking be in control of your own destiny. Doma's the MVP of this game. Fight me. God, I love him so much. And Tsukuyomi's just fucking the crazy one out there, like, dancing on the beach in the rain, and you're like, I kind of want to just have some fun with, you know. Doma's the serious one. He's your serious, like, making sure you're on the right track, but, like, doing it your own way. I'm not going to tell you how to think. You think for yourself. And Tsukuyomi's over there like, do you like to just roll around in the sand and pretend you're a sand burrito? And you're like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, Tsukuyomi, but it seems like fun. He's the fun one, you know? Crazy. And you're like, I'm not really sure of your methods. You're fucking insane. But I love you anyway. I love them both. Just both of you are coming to my man harem. I hope I'm not related to either one. Well, she can be related to you. I'm not. We'll just have to separate. We can't self-insert here. It'd be weird. Anyway. I studied from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 days a week, from ages 6 to 17. Now that I think about it, I learned more about the history and politics of lands beyond the ocean rather than those of this island. See, Doma was like, I want you to know about the world. Don't worry about this bullshit. Learn about the real world. That explains it. Why you think similarly to us. She's like, who's us? Which is why seeing you wanting to learn so much about things is reassuring. I feel like you're a lot closer to me and Akaza. Yeah, good. I want to be close to the two of you. And Yosuga. And Riku. Like, it's okay. We'll teach Riku. We managed to break him out of his little fucking blue shell. Okay, it's okay. He's okay now. We're just like, yeah, Kuroba's Yosuga and Riku aren't waiting at the man harem for you to join. And then when you're joining, it's like, okay, now we're on to Akaza. Well, we gotta do Himika first, but whatever. Huh? Oh, right. You did say something like that before. I recall blushing back then, too. But rather than being embarrassed now, I felt happy. No, I'd say there's even more to you than that. You've lived in Lord Doma's manor and you're friends with Lord Jigen and Tsukuyomi. In other words, you're surrounded by outsiders. He had the means to acquire a wealth of knowledge compared to the other girls on the island. Pretty amazing if you ask me. Yeah, like, what about the other girls? Like, I do like reading. Both of these are good. Like, I do like reading, but what about the other girls? Seems like, what do you think about them? He's like, you're way cooler than them. Haha. This is more like, what about the other girls? Don't they get to learn? This is where we find out we were privileged. Or we're like, what about them, Kuroba? Like, what do you think about them? Twofold. Wait a minute. What about the other girls? Nintoku University is the island's only school. Even until now, it strictly prohibits female enrollment. Nintoku University, the sole school on Tengu Island with students from only primary and secondary tiers. Exceptions may be made in cases of outstanding academic ability, like with Kuroba. It's funny because technically, he can be considered a secondary tier. But he's basically not, even though, like, the tertiary tiers, the primary and second are like the pure colors. You know, you got red, yellow, blue, and then you got the orange and the green and the jade and the turquoise and the fuchsia and whatever fucking other purple, like whatever. All the other random fucking, because, you know, they didn't do normal color, you know. But they're the pure colors. And then it's like, okay, the Ko, the Otsu, the whatever, they're like the low, but they're mixed if you think about it. Like, oh, well, you've got like red hair and green eyes. Ah, freak! But the black class is actually a pure color class. But I guess it's more like, oh, you're like the lowest of the low because like you're what happens when like at least the Ko and the Otsu people have like pretty rainbow colors and like you're not. Like, you know what I mean? It's so weird. You're like, I mean, at least he's a pure color class, but like it's not good enough. This island is fucked up. Have we mentioned that before? I don't know if you know that this island is fucked up, but in case you weren't aware, it's fucked up. Anyway. I've heard about that. Does that mean they don't have any other means of learning? And girls born into wealthy families are given a basic education, mostly focused on etiquette. This is some, like, 1800s bullshit and whatever beyond. This is some, like, ancient, antique learning bullshit.
Oh dear, we learned to needlepoint. We don't learn anything. We're definitely not going to teach you about sex. That would be uncanny. We should never teach a girl about these things.
So it's surprising on your wedding night when you're like, the fuck is that shit? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Could you imagine growing up in that? Could you just So I doubt most of them will have access to as much education as you've had. I see. But soon, they'll finally have a proper place to learn. I know it won't cover everyone, but I heard Elder Sister Shura is building a school for girls in the Blue District. I think it's about done, too. Elder Sister? She's a unique one, isn't she? I don't get along with her all too well, but there's no doubt she's committed to advancing women's rights. Again, Kuroba, exactly right there. She's unique. She ain't the best, but she is kind of awesome. Like, she's kind of the worst, but also the best. I don't really know. You don't really know how to categorize her, but that's why you like her. I didn't know that. To be honest, I didn't get along well with her either. I don't think she gets along with anybody. I wonder if that's just because she's standoffish. And it's more like, I'm all about myself, but also kicking men's asses. But hearing that she was trying to make positive changes gave me a greater respect for her. I want to do more too. But first, I better find my future husband. That's the most important responsibility I need to fulfill now. And that's the worst. I want to help women on the island, but first I need to find a man. That's my most important responsibility. Wait, this sounds weird. Like, it's odd when you say it this way. I took a peek at Kuroba's face. Is it all right if I read that book you have there? Sure, take it. Thank you. Bring it back anytime. His arm gently brushed me as he reached out to the bookshelf, pins you against the bookshelf. It leans in close and whispers, bring it back anytime. My body tensed up a little. I hope he didn't notice that. I knew it. It wasn't my imagination. Cordoba looked at me as he handed me the book. What do you mean? I noticed it earlier, but are you wearing some kind of rose perfume? I was supposed to return these. I think it's coming from this. I took out the paper roses from my bag. I got them from Nagusa. He wanted me to give him my thoughts on them since the Jade are planning to sell these folded papers. You got them from Nagusa. Pretty, aren't they? I used to fold origami, but I didn't know there was a scented paper or even a way to fold roses like this. But I was planning on returning them to him, given all the misinformation in the newspaper. Right. That's a good idea. My hair was sprayed with a mist of something. A refreshing scent filled the air. Is this mint? Wait, oranges? You're pretty good. I think this fragrance suits you better. He just sprayed us. Oh, that's why it's called mint orange potion. Mint orange. Yeah, I don't know. I like the scent of roses myself better than mint orange. Huh? You think? You could have told me before you... Oh, is this the same perfume you use? He's like, excuse me, it's cologne when a man puts it on. It's not much of a perfume, more like a sleep aid. He sprayed a bit onto his wrists. And now I think it's actually cute. You're like, did you just mark me as your territory with your scent? This is some kind of like, cat's rubbing against you. I'm marking you as mine. He's just like, mine. I made you smell like me. You're mine now. It's weird and kind of sexy. I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some odd, like, you're like, that's weird. You're marking your territory, but I'm kind of turned on by that. Kind of like it. Kind of just thinking like a man being like, this is my cologne. Sprays it on you. He's like, no, you smell like me. Oh. Stop. Are you flirting with me? Like, I don't know why I like it, but I do. I can't explain it. Cordoba. Points. Massive points for that. Wow. The shit you like that you don't expect to. But, like, I think if a man actually did that in real life, it wasn't like, marking my territory, but it was more like, now you smell like me. I'd be like, I love you. Take me now. I don't know. Simple shit. I don't know. I have a hard time sleeping. When I told Yosuga, he blended this up for me. I didn't know he can make things like that. I have to admit, it smells really nice, especially now because I'm associating it with you and thinking of your face. When I fall asleep, smelling it, breathing you in. Sticks her face in his neck. I could still smell the mint and orange in the air. Which means both Cordoba and I were wearing the same fragrance right now. I know, right? Right? See, all of a sudden it's getting sexy. She's like, oh, I'm wearing your scent. Yeah. My thighs grew tense and I felt a bit warm. Yeah, right? I told you. Can't believe I'm like this now. Whenever I was with him, I seemed to always find myself at a loss for words. I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. Oh, some people die from insomnia. Relatable. Not the dying from insomnia, the like, I gotta say, people die from insomnia. That's a weird conversation. So I had nothing else to say. This is the awkwardness of what she just said. Huh? Oh, you said you have a hard time sleeping. I don't think it's good for your health. You don't exactly live a balanced life either, so you should take better care of yourself. I wouldn't want you to die. I love you. What? Nothing? You're right. And I'm supposed to be a doctor. Thanks for worrying about me. Look, and then he looks at you with a sweet face. You've been doing research all this time, haven't you? I don't have any deadlines to meet, but I just feel uneasy not getting results. And then again, I did get something good today. He looked over at the Shinamizu on the table. I have a strange feeling that things will really start moving now. My hunches are usually right, so I can't wait to see the results. His eyes gleamed with curiosity and expectation. It almost felt like he could discover the cure tomorrow. I know I said this before, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure you'll be able to find the cure. I will. I'll find it. Maybe not in this route, and maybe not in the next, but probably in Akaza's route when all the truth comes out and, like, we just blow this fucking shit wide open. His fingers touched my hair for a moment, right where he sprayed the sleeping aid. Cordoba's fingers. My skin prickled, even over the places he didn't touch. What is this sensation? Lust? But make sure to get some sleep. You're not going to find the cure if you collapse from exhaustion. You're so sweet to me today. Well, sometimes I worry about you. The smell of mint and orange thinned a bit. You should have just drenched the whole place in it. That's right. About the other day. What happened to being my lifeguard at the beach? You must be remembering my body. We were having a nice moment, Cordoba. But this is also why I love him. We were having a nice moment. You're so nice to me today. Like, hey, were you thinking about my body? God damn it, you just ruined the moment, you bastard. But I love you for it, because it's hilarious. No! Well, I think I'll let you go for now. Are you free tomorrow night? I don't have any plans to go on stage. Why do you ask? You took me to see Tsukiyomi, so I'll take you to dinner. It wasn't anything, really. I'd do anything to help you find a cure. Come on now. I'll show you around the island while I'm at it. How about we meet in the plaza after your deliveries? Around 3? Well, I guess I can accept your offer. Good. I'm looking forward to it. He's asking you out on a date. We're going on a date! Yes! With our handsome future husband. Which, at least we know. But, usually when you're like, I'm going on a date, you don't know if he's going to be your handsome future husband or not. You're just like, I'm going on a date with someone that's probably going to turn out to be a douche weasel. But, hey. Husband. Preserving the white bloodline is my duty, so finding my husband is a given. The question is, who will it be? It's been almost 2 weeks since I was told to find a husband. I can't even believe this. I think maybe I'm ready to settle down. It's been 2 weeks. I'm gonna die. Why can't I manage this? Life right there, right? I hadn't been playing around all this time. I could tell a certain feeling was getting clearer and clearer. Every moment I saw him. Dinner with Kuroba tomorrow. I can't wait. The man of my life. Okay. It's an interesting title. Riku? I hope I have some letters today. As I walked approaching Kunado, Riku was immediately recognizable, of course, because he's beautiful. And awkward as fuck. Good morning! Aren't you getting tired of your deliveries? Hey! How dare you? Look at you and your beautiful resting bitch face. I love you. Not at all. On the contrary, I'm more motivated than ever to keep doing them, especially every time you glare at me. Goddamn handsome robot man. He's literally like a fucking... He is... Look, Akaza's a robot. He's a I don't know why we got 2 robot characters, but I'm down. Okay, especially because one of them's a glasses robot. I showed him my permit to go through when... Oh, is Lady Olympia actually going to Yomi? You don't belong there. That place is for criminals and those of undesirable colors. But you just returned from Yomi. Her face! Oh my god, her face is how I feel. But you just returned from Yomi. That face, I love it. And even Riku was like, how dare you? I was just having a look around. After all, it's useful to see the ugly side of things. I think I'm seeing the ugly side of things right now. Ugly? I'm in a hurry. Please excuse me. Please wait, Lady Olympia. You should stay away from Yomi. Yomi's full of filth, you know. You shouldn't have a look at the black and Versi color classes. You shouldn't have to look at the black and Versi color. Versi are the ones that are the trash people that are beautiful. Cause it'd be like Riku, but oh, you have green eyes and you have this little tuft of purple hair. How pretty is that? Man, people spend a lot of money dyeing their hair like that, and you're just born with it? Come on. You have a noble mission to uphold. What'll happen if you end up catching those hideous colors while you're down there? Cool. Sounds fun. Why, you! And then I will be responsible for her protection. Good job, Riku. Thank you for standing up for us. Precious, precious prince. Now, shall we, Olympia? Hey, Riku! Don't get in my way! And that is not my intention. However, it is one of my duties to ensure her safety. Now, excuse us. Riku gently pushed my back toward Yomotsu Hirasaka. You're like, Riku, thanks. He's like, listen. I shall be taking my leave now. Upon reaching the bottom, he bowed his head and turned on his heel. I quickly grabbed onto the long strap that hung from his waist. Wait! Thank you very much. I did not do anything. I was merely fulfilling my role. But you saved me. Aone's neighbor told me everything. Okay, I love him when he gets embarrassed because he's just there covering his mouth and he's just like, huh? His awkward, like, sprite is the cutest fucking thing. It's so adorable. You're like, look at you, you're so tough, but then you're just so not. You're such a fucking marshmallow, I love you. Well, I suppose your brazen, position-defying meddling is doing some good to others. Riku? Even so, I cannot condone your continued presence down in Yomi. You will encounter the same people as you did a moment ago. Now be careful. Excuse me. He didn't make a very good first impression, but I guess he really isn't a bad person after all. He's not! He's a sweet little marshmallow. He just doesn't know how to communicate with humans. He's like a robot. Doesn't know how to communicate with humans. Neither does Akaza. They're just different types of robots. You know what I mean? But I love my robot characters. I really do. If I recall correctly, he'll be choosing a partner based on families who have produced the most children of the blue. I suppose that's one way to preserve color on this island. As I thought absent-mindedly, I heard a faint groan nearby. Huh? Wait, could that be... I guess we'll see what's happening with this scene. We're almost at time, but like, anyway. Asuwa! I found Asuwa against the wall, writhing in pain. Blood was trickling down his cheeks, knees, and arms. Did someone beat him up? What the? We need to get you to a doctor!
Don't worry, I get hurt easily. I just got in a fight with friends, so I'm fine, really.
He got into a fight? Something didn't feel right at all, but I was reluctant to question him. So don't hesitate to talk to me if you feel sick. I'm a very good doctor. I should have him see Kuroba. His face immediately came to mind, but then... I can't take Asuwa to the surface, but I don't have enough time to send for Kuroba. After thinking for a bit, I looked into Asuwa's eyes. You know, I'm actually pretty good at tending to wounds. Can I take a better look? I don't want your cuts to get infected. Oh, we're already starting the doctor's wife. Perfect.
Really, sis?
Look here, this one's really bad. We should make sure we wash them all properly.
But where?
Let's see. Why don't we go to the bathhouse?
We don't have to go there. Really?
Is he trying to hide something? Something still doesn't feel right, but I need to tend to him first. Because he's going to be like, Yusuga's going to get mad and go kill someone. Well, you don't want to worry Yusuga and the others, right? How about I just get some water from there instead? You'll get a good scolding for Kuroba if he finds you like this.
Huh?
I'm sorry if that sounded threatening.
Well then, as long as Yusuga doesn't see...
All right, let's go. All right, perfect. We'll stop here. So, Yusuga's going to be standing right there. I knew something was wrong. I knew someone was about to hide something from me. I'll fucking kill them. That's why we love Yusuga. Because he seems like sweet and beautiful and wonderful. And look at his glorious fluffy cape. And then he's like, I'll fucking kill you. And he probably would, too. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.